Yo, what's going on guys? ROUNDTABLE here. Welcome back to another video for Elden Ring, and today I want to talk about 5 new things that we have learned from some of the recent Elden Ring coverage. Game Informer of course had their cover exclusive, there's been some information from other sources, and just in general I want to wrap up some of the most noteworthy things. We got some information about new areas, some of the gameplay systems, even some Easter eggs, so if you guys are excited for Elden Ring like I am, then you definitely don't want to miss this. If you guys do enjoy it, a like would be super appreciated. Let me know in the comments down below what your Elden Ring plans are. Are you guys counting down the days? What are you doing? And of course, don't forget to keep it locked because we will be doing plenty of Elden Ring coverage. You guys showed the closed network test content some great support, so we plan to do even more of that when the game launches. But to begin with, first things first, we got to look at Castle Mourne. I will link the Game Informer video down below if you want to see the full thing. But they got a chance to explore a new area, and Castle Mourne is kind of described as an optional area, and it is bigger than, say, some of the things we got to experience in the closed network test. You'll remember that you can go into small caves, caverns, catacombs, things like that, and you can of course go through like a few rooms and then fight a boss at the end. Sometimes you got some cool rewards, and of course that's one of the nice things just about exploring the lands between. There are lots of these sort of mysteries and places hidden around, so if you do go exploring, it is worth your time. And Castle Mourne is like the next level version. It's not quite a full scale dungeon, but it is considerably bigger than, say, a small cavern, and there's of course lots of cool stuff to do there. It's described as this location that is nestled in southern Limgrave on the sort of Weeping Peninsula, and it's a place where horrors abound. There's chimeric sort of leonine creatures that of course will jump out at you and await you, and whilst in this locale of course there is the mini dungeon again, and this sort of features like a mixture of your typical castle style interiors, battlements you can kind of climb up, and when they go to the actual boss area at the end, admittedly it's a very sort of different setting, but it kind of gave me Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time water temple vibe, specifically when you go in to fight Shadow Link. That kind of watery area, when they sort of went in to fight the boss at the end, those are definitely the vibes that I got. Either way, Castle Mourne looking very cool. Also, during that gameplay, we did get a quick look at these small minor Erd trees. These are trees that you'll find littered all around the world, and apparently if you go to them, they will give you seeds, and if you get these seeds, you can actually use them to upgrade your flasks. As you go, you will need more seeds, so of course it's gonna, exponentially increase, but this does of course mean that this will be one of the collectibles you'll be pursuing in the game if you want to power up and improve your flasks on your journey. Now, moving on from there, for those of you guys that like pain, which apparently Miyazaki does, Poison Swamps will be making a return, and also there's a thing called the Scarlet Rot. So they spoke about in an interview how in terms of how the player feels when they encounter this area, and they said that's sort of a different story. Miyazaki specifically said that when making the game, he rediscovered his love for making poison swamps. He knows how people feel about them, in that they don't like them. Honestly, anytime you get poisoned, it is a horrific experience, because if you're anything like me, you never carry what you need to cure the poison. But anyway, he said, suddenly he realizes that he's in the middle of making one and he just can't help himself. He's just basically trying to create as much pain as possible. Of course, that will happen again in Elden Ring. Players will come across battle-challenging environments alongside, of course, giant bosses, and some of these will take place in sort of poisonous and toxic swamps. However, there is supposedly something that is described as being even worse than poison. They haven't gone into what it is or how it works, they simply named it. Miyazaki said that in terms of Elden Ring's story and setting, there is something that is especially horrible that exists and persists in this world. He said he'll go ahead and say the name so that it's something you can look forward to. It's called the Scarlet Rot. This is something that is separate, a little bit from poison or toxicity, but I hope you look forward to it. When Miyazaki says I hope you look forward to that, you basically know that it's just going to be a world of pain. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think the Scarlet Rot might be. Now when it comes to Easter eggs, of course expanding from there, if you guys have been playing From Software's games for a long time, you'll of course know that there are sometimes in the different games, there are recurring characters, themes, weaponry to be found in different sort of forms across the game. And while they don't necessarily always make explicit appearances, sometimes they can be found as sort of like slight surprises, other things like that. And apparently this is the case during Ludwig's Phase 2 battle, where he decides to pull out the Moonlight Greatsword, an attempt to basically dunk on the player with some incredibly flashy power moves. And in Elden Ring, players will be able to interact with the traitor patches, as well as acquire both Storm Ruler and the Moonlight Greatsword. So, if those are weapons that you're excited about, they will definitely be there. In fact, Miyazaki said, I can confidently say yes, this time Elden Ring is the sort of game that forgives a massive sense of volume and bulk, and so I felt like I was entitled to include these things this time around. So yes, you will find them if you look hard enough. And then finally, the last thing is actually super interesting because of course it's something that we haven't had a chance to see up until now, and that is Roundtable Hold. So of course, previous From Software titles, the Nexus to Firelink's Shrine to Majula, different things like that, These games always have some sort of hub area where you typically kind of go to, you know, sort things out, level up, craft, all those different things like that, resupply, whatever it is you want, a place where NPCs will gather. And in Elden Ring, that place is Roundtable Hold. They said that access to Elden Ring's hub is actually something you encounter a little bit later, so you'll kind of start playing through the game in a very similar manner to how you did in the closed network test, and then at some point later on when you interact with the bonfires or the Site of Grace, then Melina will basically lead you to this location. And of course, while some of the player functions can still be accessed from the Lost Site of Grace, there are additional services that the player will be able to unlock, and that'll basically be done in Roundtable Hold. Apparently there are lots of NPCs located here, and some of them, they'll be there from the start. Other ones you will encounter and they'll sort of like go there over time. So of course, as you progress throughout the game, you will encounter these different people. The location itself is sort of described almost like this Arthurian round table, like aesthetically. And they said that you've got like the blacksmith there, who's called like Hugh, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He's like a prisoner hammering away on like a finely crafted weapon amongst many other characters. They also said the round table hold contains a curiosity that they never actually found a use for during their play session. Again, this was GAMEINFORMER. There's the two maiden husks, where apparently they're a morbid duo who ask for bell bearings. Honestly, they didn't know what they are just yet, but of course, that is something else to look forward to. Additionally, there was another sort of mysterious looking area there where apparently you can jump off into this sort of arena looking place. Basically, there's like a balcony, a load of blood down beneath it, and apparently when you jump off, there are some battles that ensue, so you know, I definitely can't wait to sort of see what happens there, whether they are like challenges that if you complete them, you get kind of cool gear, or you know, something else entirely. We'll have to wait and see, but they definitely do sound pretty interesting. So basically, the Roundtable Hold is going to be that sort of hub area that you can seemingly go to, you know, once you've unlocked it, anytime, as a means to you know, do different things, craft gear, upgrade stuff, unlock things, and then carry on with your journey. So for the time being, that's a little rundown on some of the new information surrounding Elden Ring right now. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of some of that. Let me know if you have any questions. But in the meantime, if you guys do want to check out another Elden Ring video, then definitely click this one you see on screen right now.